Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Bets. I am the Brofict one, AJ, and with me, as always, is my co-host Noah. Noah, we got a big week of NFL, dude, and I love a lot of these games. I'm a big fan of a lot of these lines where they're sitting at, except for a couple that I absolutely hate, but I still probably will take them. But we'll get to that in a moment. Noah, lot going on in the NFL right now. Really quick, I want your takes since you are part owner of the Packers. How do you feel about signing OBJ in the next couple days?
Well, it's definitely a big possibility. He said stays top three. He's got three teams.
Offers in. There's an offer in from the Packers, actually.
Yep, the Packers, the Saints, and the Chiefs. Well, I think he's received offers from all three. I haven't seen what they are from the Chiefs and the Saints.
I believe he's also received one from the Patriots as well.
But he said that he is only considering those three teams. Yep. So I'm sure he's gotten offers from at least 5, 6, 7, 8 teams.
Oh, yeah.
Now that they don't have to claim him on waivers and take his whole contract. Packers offered him the veteran minimum, which would only pay him about $500,000 for the rest of the year.
Yep.
It depends. We'll see where his priorities are at. Because if he wants to be that number one guy, if he wants to be the number one option, he'll go to the Saints. If he's matured and doesn't really care about being the number one guy and realizes that he's going to take a step back, which what the Packers offered him tells me that he only wants a Super Bowl and he doesn't care, and he's made those moves. So if he signs with the Packers for the veteran minimum, I like it, actually, despite my thoughts on OBJ, because if he's willing to take the veteran minimum for the rest of the year and only make $500,000 the rest of the year, that tells me he's willing to be a role guy and not be that number one option. Obviously, you have to realize with the Packers, Devontae's still going to get like a fucking 50% target share.
Oh, yeah.
The running backs are going to get targets. So if you're Odell, you're getting like an 8 to 10% target share if you come to the Packers. Mm-hmm. And he has to be willing to be targeted only, 3-4 times a game, maybe.
True. Very true.
But if he's willing to take that veteran minimum, I think he realizes that too. I think he's a smart enough guy that he realizes that.
Yeah.
If he's looking for a place to go and stay for the future, Kansas City's the best option. So I think this all boils down to what his priorities are, because he's also not going to be he's going to be the number 3 option on Kansas City behind Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And so if he signs with the Packers or the Chiefs, he has to realize he's probably the number 2 or even 3 option on both of those teams. And he has to know that. And like I said, I don't think Odell's dumb. I think he realizes what's in front of him. And if he signs with the Saints, it's because he wants to go to a team that's a somewhat contender. A little harder now with Trevor Siemian at the helm, but if he goes there, that just shows us that he does want to get his targets and be the number 1 option. So
yeah,
we'll see what he ends up doing.
Will be an interesting story, but we are a betting show, so let's get right into Thursday night football. You've got Ravens and the Dolphins. Ravens 7.5 point favorite. Let me pull up the total real quick. Total's at 46.5. Noah, I have been sticking with a very good strategy when it comes to Thursday night football. It's a short week. You really don't need to put a lot of thought into it. You take the team that you think is better. I think the Ravens are a better team than the Dolphins. I'm taking the Ravens and the 7.5, and I'm not even going to think about it.
Yeah, the Ravens have been getting 7.5 the last couple of weeks, 6.5, 7.5 against much better teams than the Dolphins.
Yep.
Haven't necessarily been covering that, but they've been winning. I don't even have to think about this game. I mean, Ravens minus 7.5. It's so easy. They're gonna blow the shit out of the Dolphins.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be
especially the Dolphins coming in high off of getting a fucking win for the first time in 8 weeks. And
now I will say I'm interested to see what the team total is for the Ravens, because if it's over, like if the over unders at 30, I think you got to take the over on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Lamar's going to have 1.5 million yards in this game, so
True. I'm curious. I gotta look at this. They're the away team.
This
26. They're total. No, I'm sorry, 27 and a half.
Yeah, I would
add
I would
that to
slam
my
that.
over. Add that to my add that.
I
I'm
mean,
taking the Ravens over 27 and a half points for the game.
yeah. The Dolphins are still bad. I mean, they beat the Texans. That doesn't mean shit.
No.
Beat them 17-9 or something. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ravens by like maybe even 20, 25 points in this game.
Ravens by a couple light years. It's going to be a fucking slaughter.
I mean, you can even mark me down for taking a side bet on this one. Ravens minus 13.5.
I love it, dude. Honestly,
I will take him to win by 2 touchdowns. Take those like plus 200 something odds.
Shit,
easy.
Might as well. Next game, I think, is an easy pick. You might have something to say about it. We got the Buccaneers visiting the Washington football team. Minus 9.5 for the Buccaneers. The total is at 51.5. Noah, you know what I'm gonna say. Give me the Buccaneers. Give me the 9.5.
Yeah, I'm on the same page.
All right.
This is the first time in like, I don't know, I feel like over half their games have been double-digit spreads this year.
Yeah, so it's nice to see a single-digit number right there.
Seeing that 9.5, it's just juicy. Bucks coming off a bye week. Yeah, give me the Bucks. I don't need to think about that one too much.
True. Next game, dude, a couple of these early slates, at least at like a couple of games, I don't think we need to think about a lot. You got Lions at the Steelers, 8.5 point spread. Obviously, guess who the favorite is? It's not the fucking Lions. And you got the total at 42.5. Noah, this Lions team sucks. They don't just suck, they suck a lot. 8.5, they're trying to get you to bet on the Lions. That's what the sports books are trying to do because it's crossing that 7 number. I'm taking Steelers 8.5. I was thinking about buying it down to 7.5, but I'm gonna leave it at 8.5. I'm gonna take it at 8.5.
Well, if they're doing a good job, I'm buying into it. I don't like the spread where it is. I'm seeing it at 9, but even at 8.5, Lions coming off a bye week. Steelers sneak away a win against the Bears that they should have lost. They should have lost that game. The Steelers team's not a great team. I do think the Steelers they're gonna win the game. They're gonna win the game. The Lions have literally one opportunity left for a win this year, and it's against the Bears on Thanksgiving.
True.
The Steelers made Justin Fields look like a veteran quarterback.
They did. He looked good for once.
In the second half, not in the first half. He was having a rough first half, but Justin Fields was throwing the ball all over him, running it all over him, throwing especially in the second half. The Steelers defense very good. I mean, they got a lot of pressure, a lot of sacks, but I feel like this will be a scrappy game that the Lions are going to somehow like put up points and stay in, especially coming off a bye. In the game before the bye, let's not forget they got blown out by the Eagles, so they got a bad taste in their mouth playing another Pennsylvania team. Give me the Lions to cover, but wow. I don't like them to win, for the record, because I'm taking Pittsburgh in my survivor pool, which is making me a little nervous that I'm taking Pittsburgh and then also taking Detroit to cover. But the spread's just high. The spread's high. The Steelers are not a covering 9 or 10 team, No. That's just a thing.
We'll see, though. I think they're covering 8.5. That's why I'm not taking them at 9. I'm taking them at 8.5, which is what I got it at. So, but 9's probably better for the Lions anyway. Let's go into the next game because I think you're gonna hate my pick, but I don't care because I love this pick more than anything. Well, actually, you're probably gonna love my pick. You're gonna love my pick because of what this show has been saying about this. We'll get it. Okay, I'm just gonna stop teasing. Here we go. You got Browns at the Patriots. Browns are a 1.5, 2-point dog, depending on what book you go to. Totals at 45. Dude, OBJ is gone. Do I need to say anything else? OBJ is gone. This Browns team is about to go on a fucking tear. I think OBJ was a bigger cancer to that team than people are willing to admit and or talk about. I don't think the Instagram post and everything was the first time. I think it's the first time it's been brought to the public eye, not the first time it's been done behind closed doors, because everyone just kind of seemed to shrug it off. That was close to him. Give me the Browns, not plus the 2, not plus the 1.5. Give me them money line. They go into Foxborough. They beat Belichick. They beat Mac Jones. And yeah.
I'm not going to disagree that the Browns are a better team without Odell, because they are. The stats prove it. But their record without Odell is like 14-11. Their record with him is like 10-15.
Mm-hmm.
This is still a barely over 500 team.
Fair.
With even without Odell, they're still 14-11. That's not a great record. It's enough to squeak into the playoffs like they did last year when they were missing him for most of the year. But this Patriots team is really hitting their groove. Belichick loves dismantling either young or mediocre quarterbacks. You have to be an elite quarterback to be able to put anything up against a Belichick defense. I think the Patriots just defensively just take out the Browns, and I anticipate this being a pretty low scoring game, and I'm going to take the Patriots on the 2.5.
Hey, fair enough. I understand why you're doing it. Belichick against these young quarterbacks is scary. I am going to throw another caveat out. Actually, I'm going to throw a side bet on there. If OBJ signs with the Patriots this week, I am going to throw 10 units on the Browns money line, because they're just going to prove, like, dude, you're missing out. You shouldn't have been a little bitch.
I mean, if he's not going to play with whoever he signs for this week.
Obviously he's not going to play, but just that, he's going to sign with them. So just a little extra, like, yeah, go fuck yourself, dude. I love it. I'm about it.
We'll see.
We will see. Next game, Noah, we're not going to talk about much because there's nothing really to think about. You got Jaguars at the Colts. Colts minus 10.5, over under 47.5. Jaguars got Josh Allen a bad day in the office. That's what happened. And they got other Josh Allen had a good day in the office. You know what I mean? It happens. In the end, this is their jobs. So I like to phrase it that way, especially when the Bills lose me easy fucking money against the Jaguars. I like to phrase it that way so I don't feel too bad about yelling about these people, because I yelled at my job all the time. Anyway, give me the Colts 10.5. Jaguars, every win they have is a fluke. Nothing is consistent with them. And if they keep fluke winning, then we'll start talking about taking them, but I ain't touching the Jaguars. So give me the Colts 10.5.
Yeah, looking at it at first glance, I'm like, I should take Colts 10.5. Carson Wentz and his turnovers, which have returned after being absent for like 5 weeks, which they only went 3-2 in those 5 weeks where he wasn't turning the ball over anyways.
True.
Now they're winning and he's turning the ball over. I don't know. Makes absolutely no fucking sense. It's the NFL though. Nothing ever makes fucking sense.
No.
I really want to bet against the Colts in this game with that high of a spread. But I'm going to buy it down to 9.5 and take the Colts.
All right.
And I'm very reluctant about that because it's making me nervous. They make me nervous. They're on a little bit of a winning streak, which shouldn't happen because Carson Wentz, as I've said, promotes a losing culture. But we're going to take him for one more week against another shitty team.
All right. I don't blame you. And no, the more and more we go down this slate, the more and more I'm getting scared that I'm taking favorites, except for my one dog. But we're going to keep going through it because this is the NFL.
we got a lot of 3-point or less spreads this week.
That's true.
There are a lot of them.
I guess we're just hitting the big ones early, because next we have the Cowboys and the Falcons. Falcons going to Jerry World. Cowboys are a 9-point favorite. Total at 54.5. God, I want to take the Cowboys, but it really feels like Dak Prescott might be on a slide after that injury. Not saying that has anything to do with the injury, but Dak Prescott, he's still a young quarterback. And I feel like a lot of these young quarterbacks, they have a bad week. It's harder for them to shake it off. And Dak Prescott didn't just have a bad week last week. He had an embarrassing week last week. with that being said, Matty Ice, I mean, he might be back in elite form. Kyle Pitts is an absolute stud.
Do they have any of those injured or missing people coming back for the Falcons?
I honestly, I forgot to check their injury report.
I mean, obviously we don't know what's going on with Ridley, mental health, taking a break from the game.
Totally get it.
Shouldn't be getting paid for it though. Just not going to get too political about that, but I know we've talked about that, AJ. Him and Ben Simmons was getting paid for a while there with taking a mental health leave. I think it's totally fine to take a mental health leave. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, ordinary people don't still get their salary when they take time off of work for mental health.
Amari Cooper is going to be questionable.
I was talking about the
that's
Falcons.
For the Cowboys, might be.
Yeah, I don't.
You probably care about the Falcons more than the Cowboys.
Well, Cowboys, by the way, potentially getting Michael Gallup back this week.
Dude, that would be huge.
So injured week 1, both of my fantasy leagues. He's been sitting on my IR spot for, way too long. It'll be good to have him back. Good little flex option there.
So a lot of these people, they're limited. They're slowly coming back.
So we have, Cordero Patterson obviously going to be around. Pitts is he good? We healthy with Pitts?
I am not seeing anything on Kyle Pitts right now.
Nothing at all, good or bad.
Let me check. Yeah, I didn't see anything on their website. I'm going to my other site.
Okay. Well, assuming Atlanta is somewhat healthy, probably minus Ridley, but if Pitts and Russell Gage and Cordero Patterson are there, AJ, I like this Cowboys team. As much as it pains me to say the Cowboys are good, they're a good team.
They're a good team, dude.
They've had a couple of bad weeks. I expect that to somewhat change this week, but they're getting a lot of points at home against an Atlanta team that I was wrong about at the beginning of this season. This Atlanta team is not bad. They're mediocre, or maybe a little bit better than mediocre. This Atlanta team is capable of winning games. They're not a terrible team.
Dude, do it. Are you going to do it?
Yeah, I'm on the Falcons to cover the points.
You're on the Falcons. You know what? Yeah, I can't do it, dude. I'm on the boys. They are them boys this year.
I mean,
I've them boys.
I've told you, AJ, the statistics. I forget what the exact numbers are on Mike McCarthy as a home favorite. He is got an impeccable record as a home favorite, but but that's on the money
Cowboys
line.
will win this game. Yeah, Cowboys will win this game.
I'm not taking Atlanta to win. I just, at 9 points, I like Atlanta to cover.
I get it, bro. I get it. Next game.
I like them to cover.
This next game, Noah, I think it's pretty easy. I think the spread's low. And that's why Titans Saints. You got Saints at the Titans, 3-point spread, 2.5 at some books. Total at 44.5, 45 at some books. The Titans team's on a roll. This Titans team on the roll. Don't get me wrong. This Saints defense is really good. Derrick Henry is out, but I think the Titans have proven that they can go to the air when they need to, and they can go to the air effectively. Is AP playing this week? Do we know?
It should be.
He should be in. I mean, we'll see.
I mean, he got what, 8 or 9 carries, averaged like a little less than 2 yards a carry. Did get a touchdown at the end, but he was not good.
Not good, but they can at least run the ball a little bit.
But the Titans didn't even pass the ball that great. Let's be honest. Their defense just obliterated the Rams' offense, is how they won that game. That's
true. And let's be real, the Saints, their offense is very questionable, especially with Stedman and Simeon, sorry. Not Stedman. Who the hell am I thinking of? Who's Stedman?
I don't think Stedman's even a guy. You might be mixing names between Streveler and Simeon.
Dude, probably. I was doing that.
Streveler being the
Jason
third.
Tatum and Taysom Hill.
Yeah, you were a lot of. Anyways,
anyway,
what do you have on this game, AJ?
Bro, I think we're done with backups, with the exception of a couple having a good time. Michael Thomas is out. OBJ is not going to the Saints. Oh God, that
if he does, he's not playing.
If he does, he's not playing, so it doesn't really matter. Sean Payton. Oh God, I love Sean Payton though. I'm not going to think about it. I'm overthinking it. I'm taking Titans.
Games in Tennessee.
In Tennessee, so I am going to take the home favorite in this one. I'm taking Titans in the 3. But here we go, dude. I'm taking way too many fucking favorites. I know I am, but I can't help it, dude.
So I've got 2 words for this game.
Let me hear it.
Actually, 3 words. Trap fucking game. This is a trap game.
Definition of it, honestly.
This is a trap game. The Saints are gonna win this. I don't know why. I don't know how. I have no logic behind it. So I am putting zero logic or thought behind this game, other than the fact that the Titans are coming off a huge win, Saints coming off a disappointing loss. Saints are the dog. They're a good team. Titans have been burying good teams in the ground all season.
Yeah.
AJ, I think it stops right here.
Ooh.
I am.
How bad do you think? Do you think it's going to really stop, or do you think they're just not going to cover?
Well, the spread's too low for me to think about that at 3 points.
I'm just making sure.
If this was like 6.5, I'd be taking the Saints no brainer. This is a tough pick for me, and I think the Titans are going to win.
Yeah,
but I'm picking the Saints money line.
Whew. All right, Saints money line all day. I see you, boy. I see you.
Because I'm calling this a fucking trap game. That is my only reasoning on this. Like I said, for the record, I think the Titans are going to win, but I am betting the Saints because it just feels like a trap game.
I get it, dude. I get it. I can't blame you, but I am going to stick with my gut on this one. I'm going Titans minus the 3.
And now, you'll probably win, but I'm just saying I gotta cover myself.
Yeah, I get it.
I get that bad feeling in the bottom of my gut about this game, which usually would mean I would stay off of it. But because we're betting the entire slate on this show, I have to do something, and I'm taking the Saints money line. So
fair, bro. Fair.
I don't like it, but I'm taking it.
Fair. Next game. Love this game, Noah. Bills, Jets. Bills minus 13, over under 47.5. Mike White is starting.
Yep.
That is important because he is the backup quarterbacks of backup quarterbacks. He is better than Zach Wilson. He's better than Joe Montana.
Because he had one good game.
Yeah, no, of course, dude. Oh, dude, Mike White's the savior, man. And Jets are gonna keep going, and they're gonna he is fucking dude. Come on, these people.
Go on, AJ. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Dude, what are my thoughts? The Jets are the fucking Jets, dude. They are not a good football team. Because listen, even if Mike White was in there last week, he probably could have kept them in the game a little bit. But bro, they
were in the game when Joe Johnson took over after Mike White got injured.
The amount of flags, the amount of penalties is not something a quarterback can overcome. It's not something anyone can overcome. And with that reason alone, and the fact that they're the Jets and they're not good, and Mike White's probably going to come out and throw 3 picks this game against this Bills team who got embarrassed by the Jaguars. They're going to come out slinging. Could you imagine if they lose to 2 really bad teams in a row, bro? They lose all credibility whatsoever. They need to come out slinging. 13 points, dude. Bills by fucking 45.5, bro. I'll take the 13 all day long because Mike White's a flash in the pan. No disrespect to the guy. I'm glad he had the one good game and his shit is up in Canton already. Good on him, bro. Congratulations. But you're not going to sustain that with this Jets team. Bills minus 13.
Yeah, I'm on a pretty similar wavelength. I was going to say with Mike White, he had all the success because there was zero fucking tape on him.
Zero.
Obviously the Jets starting down against the Colts start almost making a comeback, almost backdoor covered because Joe Johnson also hardly any tape on him. The Colts were not prepared for him. It's element of surprise in those ones. There's a tiny bit of tape on Mike White now, enough to probably prepare a little bit. But God, the Bills got embarrassed so bad.
So bad.
They are going to, I feel bad for the Jets. You do not like the schedule worked out where, if what should have happened, and if the Bills blew out the Jaguars, and then you're sitting there with the Jets, and you're like, okay, they're coming off of a blowout win. We can maybe catch them off guard. No, this is the opposite. They're coming off of a really, 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 really bad loss as a team that came into the season as I think the second or third favorite to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I mean they were high up there.
They were up there
at one point this year they were the favorite. I forget which week it was, but at one point they were the favorite to win the Super Bowl.
It's crazy.
Yeah, the Bills are going to be pissed off. They're going to be really, really, really pissed off, and they're going to turn the Jets into a fucking punching bag. I think the Jets will score once or twice, maybe. But I could see this being like a 52-7 game. Like, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Bills are going to cover that 12.5. No problem.
No fucking issue whatsoever. Because they're the Bills and the Jets are the Jets. Simple as that. Next game, Noah. I'm intrigued by this game so much. This is one of those games I wish we didn't do a betting show, a gambling show, because this is one of those games I just want to sit back with a beer and watch and enjoy, and then live bet a little bit because I would get bored with the game. But here we are today. We're doing the whole fucking spread because that's what we do. Vikings, Chargers. Chargers, 3-point favorite at home, over under 53 points. This Vikings team, bro, has shocked me. We both picked them to do just terrible this year. And here they are winning some games. And
I don't think I picked them terrible. I picked them at, I think, like 7 or 8 wins.
Oh, I know. I took them to maybe 1.5.
I said they were going to be a game or two under 500. They're going to be close. They're going to be close to 500, but not quite there.
And this Chargers team, they're playing kind of as well as I expected them to. I think they had some really big wins early that lead people to kind of favor them. But
they're good. They're good, but you have to ask in the back of your mind. It's like, are they good or are they fake good?
Exactly. And we really
Herbert's good.
Good.
Is the team, is the whole good? Like, can the defense hold up? I mean, they gave up like fucking 30 points to the Eagles last week.
Yeah, and that's scary, dude.
Winning on a last minute field goal.
True. And I will say the thing that scares me about this, Dalvin Cook is playing, right?
We don't know yet.
We don't know.
If you guys haven't heard, there was a whole domestic violence thing. I don't think either of us, neither of us are going to give you our opinions on it. But just for information's sake, Dalvin Cook apparently filed a domestic violence suit against his ex-girlfriend. Very shortly after, she filed a suit against him. Yes. There's rumors out there that he only filed the suit in defense because he knew she was going to file a suit. I don't know what the truth is. We need more information before we can analyze this situation. But it's very murky right now. We don't know any of the details.
I know the NFL.
We will be waiting on those, but
and this is a betting show. You need your information, and this is just us giving you information. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either way if he plays or doesn't play. It's just whether or not the NFL actually does anything this week. I would assume it's too soon for them to actually.
So the NFL
provide
did
any
come
sanctions.
Out. The NFL did come out. Today is Wednesday, November 10th. They did come out earlier today to state that they are just going to continue monitoring the process, and his status has not changed. So I don't think this is going to be an NFL decision. I think it's going to be a Vikings decision. The fact that he's not at home.
I just think there's not enough information yet, and that's why they're not making a decision yet.
No, I agree with you. But that's why I think it's a Vikings decision, because regardless of what happens, he has to walk out on that field. Regardless if it's true or not, allegations are against him. People are going to hate him regardless of what actually had happened, especially in the short term. I don't know if the Vikings want that kind of exposure, because once he's out there, I mean, the announcers are going to have to talk about him and talk about the allegations and everything. And so that's something, and don't get me wrong, the Texans probably thought they were going to skirt that by having him bench and not even show up to anything, but still it's something that gets brought up all the time. And so I don't know, that situation kind of scares me. If Dalvin Cook starts though, I do like him. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't think it matters that much, because Alexander Mattison has proved that he is a perfectly capable backup. I mean, he's not Dalvin Cook, but he's still Dalvin Cook was injured a game or two earlier this season against the Seahawks. Alexander Mattison had a great game. I think close to 100 yards on the ground, multiple catches he was at like 150, 160 all-purpose yards, something like that. Absolutely tore up the Seahawks, terrible run defense, but
terrible.
Chargers, who have struggled big time against the run, especially last week against the Eagles, gave up a lot of rushing yards.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Alexander Mattison can fill in pretty well, at least a good 80-90% for what Dalvin Cook can do.
So I think this week for me is going to be let me test the Chargers and see if they're real or not. I'm going to take the Vikings in the 3. And I hate betting on the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm nowhere hell touching that. I'm taking the Chargers at home, even though they don't have a home field advantage. It's more like a neutral site, which is terrible. But I don't know. Vikings fans, I don't think travel super well, so maybe it'll be a little bit of a half home field advantage. But
it's hard to say it's going to be a home field there, but
I think the Chargers are the better team. The spread is low enough that I'm going to jump on it. I've got it at 2.5. So
it is 2.5 at Sunbooks. My bad.
So I'm in heavy on the Chargers. The Vikings, like I've said, and it proved true last week, every game comes down to the wire, to a last-minute touchdown or field goal or overtime. They've now at 3 overtime games this season.
Yep.
The Vikings love playing overtime. They love making the games interesting. Every single one of the Vikings games, I'm pretty sure, has been within 7 points.
Yeah.
Whether it's a win or a loss.
Yeah, they've been close. And that's why I wish this game was at 6.5. I really do. I wish this game was at 6.5.
No. If you ever see the Vikings at 7.5 in any game this season, just absolutely slam that 7.5, because they make every game interesting. Honestly, even at 3.5, because they've won or lost a ton of games on field goals, like the majority of their games. But I'm taking the Chargers. I love it.
All right.
I think Herbert's going to have a heyday on that defense. So.
Hey, I hope so, because I hate the Vikings, and I won't be mad if I lose at that, honestly.
And I have to mention, Vikings have had 5 players test positive for COVID in the last day or so.
Okay, I did not know that. I'm taking Chargers minus the 3.
The team is under strict protocols for at least the next 2 days until players and coaches can produce 2 negative tests in a row, because I think 39 players on their active roster are under close contact tracing protocols right now.
Nope.
And close contact, so they're having distanced, no practices, but distance meeting, stuff like that for the next 2 days, to prevent an outbreak is the reason why. So they're essentially losing a day and a half of practice here, even if there's not those extra tests. If more people turn up positive, we might see that this could be the first game that gets forfeited. How does that work at the books if this gets forfeited?
It would be a void. So it would essentially work as a push. You just get your money back.
I hate that because I'm already in on the Chargers.
I hate it too, but I mean, I'd rather have it be a void than a loss. They could tell you to go fuck yourself.
I'm just saying, I like this before any COVID news came out, but we have potentially big COVID implications.
Yeah.
Those players that tested positive, 3 of them starters. There's like an offensive lineman. I think Harrison Smith is one of them, which is one of their best defensive players. I think the Vikings are, and if more of these cases pop up before we hit the game time and it's not enough to, cancel the game, that just benefits the Chargers, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm going Chargers minus the 3. I did not know about the COVID outbreak with the Vikings. I'm going Chargers minus the 3.
Well, not an outbreak yet. It's been 5 cases in the last 2 days, but it's enough to
definitely enough to change my fucking pick.
Put in some extra practice protocols there for him. So
definitely. Noah, next game we're going into another huge spread. We're going Panthers at the Cardinals. Panthers without Sam Darnold. Cardinals possibly without D-Hop and Kyler Murray again. You got the spread.
D-Hop, I heard D-Hop is on track to be back, but maybe not.
I've also heard he's on track of being back, but from when I'm taking the lines tonight. Taking the lines tonight, he is not back, so I'm not looking at this as him being back. So
fair enough.
Books are having it at 10.5, some of them at 10, totals being at 44 points. Panthers are, like I said, they're down Sam Darnold. I understand. We both understand that Sam Darnold at this point is not a good quarterback. It's just eminent. However, his replacement was the best fucking quarterback in the XFL. We're talking about our boy PJ fucking Washington. All right. He came in. You said he came in a couple times. We talked off air about this a little bit. You said he came off the bench a couple times last year when Tyrod Taylor was injured.
No, Bridgewater.
Oh, Bridgewater. Sorry.
Both he played a couple games last year.
Games last year. How did he do? Because I honestly do not even recall him playing.
I mean, didn't look great. Didn't look terrible. But we also had McCaffrey out last year, just like he's out for the rest of this year now, huh?
I RIP his career, because after this Carolina deal, no one's going to sign him because he literally
and Saquon. If
he literally played 2 games and that's it.
If you're a fantasy player, do not take these 2. I mean, I would have said Derrick Henry should have been your, number 1 pick in every fantasy league, but then he breaks a bone in his foot, which is that just
a weird
thing?
Injury? A weird injury. Though.
Is that
I
just
don't blame him on that one.
in the AFC South? I mean, Wentz,
a healthy quarterback.
Wentz, Quentin Nelson on the Colts. You got Derrick Henry on the Titans.
Random fucking broken.
I mean, you don't hear about broken foot bones very often, but now we've had 3 of them in the AFC South. I don't know, but McCaffrey showing he might be injury prone. So I mean, that's sidetracked there, but PJ Washington, he was slinging it in the XFL. Was on pace before that season got canceled. I think they played 5 or 6 out of their 10 games they were supposed to play. He looked like he was going to be the MVP, and an undefeated team. Didn't play great in the couple of games he's played in the NFL, but has held his own. He hasn't been like bad. He's looked like a serviceable backup, doesn't deserve to be a starter.
Yes. I think the issue with a lot of these backup quarterbacks coming in and everything is, or even them having a game or 2, is that they got to remember is that regardless of how good this guy plays, they still have the whole team around them. And so, PJ Washington, he could have been the MVP of the XFL. God, excuse me.
They have good receivers in Carolina.
Yeah, they don't have terrible receivers in Carolina. But
Chuba Hubbard.
No, again.
decent.
Yeah, absolutely. But you're also still going against an NFL defense, and that's not going to be anything like you've seen. And so it was definitely a change of pace, because you can even tell from watching those XFL games to NFL games, the speed was a little bit, not a little bit slower, but it was different, and I think that's going to be, and I think it's going to continue to be an issue for him until he gets more reps. And with that being said, Colt McCoy, I preached it last week. This Cardinals team, I like them whether
he had an
Kyler
amazing
starts or not.
week.
Colt McCoy
Him and James Conner.
Him and James Conner. RIP to, what was it? His Achilles? What he injured?
Is James Conner out for the year?
Who was it? I forget who was injured last week.
Chase Edmonds got injured. I don't know. You were telling me James Conner was injured too, and I never saw anything about that. But maybe he did. I don't know. But I didn't see him getting injured.
I could have just seen an article about 2 running backs, and then.
I mean, I know Chase Edmonds went out with an injury, but.
All right, no, James Conner's good. We're good. We're chilling.
Okay. James Conner leading the NFL in touchdowns this year.
Yeah, a stud, just a stud. And with that being said, though, Kyler Murray and D-Hop might be out. We don't know. If I am the Cardinals, where we're sitting at right now with our record, especially the way that some of these NFC teams are playing, I would not be upset resting Kyler Murray here, because I do think we can win this game with Colt McCoy.
Yeah, I would totally agree. I mean, it's a winnable game, and then you have the bye week coming up. So these guys you have on injury, I mean, why push it? Obviously, you want the number 1 seed. That's important. But it depends on the coaching staff and the trainers and how much they think they can push these guys. Actually, probably not as much the trainers, just the coaching staff, like how much they want to push these guys back into the lineup when you have a very winnable game against Carolina.
Very winnable game against Carolina. And that's the thing. I think the Cardinals win this game no matter who starts. And that's why, looking at this game, I'm considering D-Hop out, even though he's on schedule to return. I'm going to make a bad decision here. This is kind of responsible gambling, but not the most responsible gambling. I think the James Conner, Colt McCoy show isn't over. I think it's just getting cooking, and it can keep cooking if it needs to. I think this Carolina team is bad. I think the secondary is going to eat up those wide receivers, and I think PJ Washington is going to get annihilated by Chandler Jones multiple times. Zach Ertz is going to have a fucking day too. Give me the Cardinals at home minus the 10.5.
Well, AJ, what have I said about Carolina the entire year?
What, Noah? Just refresh my memory.
No. What have I said?
I know what you said about Sam Darnold.
I've said Carolina sucks. And they've even disappointed me more than I thought they would, right? Because they were 3-0. Okay. And I said, okay, well, they'll probably get off to a 6-2 start and then lose 8 out of their last 9.
That's true. You did. Yeah, okay, I remember that. Yeah.
But they're failing to get off to a fucking 6-2 start. I mean, they're what are they? They ended up 4-5. They're 4 well, okay, so they were lost last week. So they went 4-4 instead of 6-2 after starting 3-0. And they're still going to lose 8 out of their last 9.
Yeah.
So instead of the 7-10 record that I thought after their 3-0 start, and everyone's like, "Oh, the Panthers are a good team," and I'm like, "Yeah, they'll be 7-10. It's not going to matter." Their win total was up to 9.5 when they were 3-0.
And if you're responsible, you slammed.
It was up to like 9.5. I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. I took their under at the beginning of the season at 7.5, and I still kind of felt good about it. But I'm like, oh, it's at 9.5, and I took it again. I took it a second time at 9.5 when they were 3-0. They're fucking 4-5. They might lose every single game the rest of the season. Probably not. They'll their defense is good enough that they'll find a win or two in there, but they're not winning more than 6 games this season.
No.
They're not winning more than 6 games. They're not going to win
chance,
this one,
bro. No chance.
I don't like the spread though. If Kyler's
Hate
not
the
playing,
spread. What?
I don't like it if Kyler's not playing. If Kyler's not in, I'd like Carolina to cover 10.5.
You understand that they have to score points, right? Like Kyler Murray might be injured, but the defense is fine. And that's where I'm standing on. I think our defense is a lot better than this Carolina offense. I'm not betting on our offense. I know what I said about the James Conner and the Colt McCoy show. Like, yeah, that shit's going to happen. But also, the defense, like, don't get me wrong. No, you do what you want to do. It's your money. You gamble responsibly the way you want to. But I'm just saying, dude, they got to score points. And this defense they've been solid, bro. They've been solid. And I think those corners are going to shut down those receivers.
Have they been that solid though?
Yeah.
Who have they played?
What do you mean? They played the Rams for starters. 49ers were supposed to be good.
Well, it's supposed to be, according to like people, but not you.
Like me. According to me, they weren't supposed to be good, but according to everyone else, they were supposed to be good.
Yeah, but are the Niners actually a good offense?
No, I told you that at the start of the season.
All right, we're going to look through who the Cardinals have played and what they've done.
Bro, dude.
Great game week 1. They gave up 33 points to the Vikings.
Okay, good, which is Vikings end up being a good team.
Yeah, but 33 is a lot of points. 19 to the Jaguars, who are a shit team. That was week 2.
That was an off game. Hey, I'm the first to admit that was an off game for the Cardinals. We should have lost that game.
They played a great game against the Rams, great game against the Niners. Okay, Browns, Texans. All right, okay.
Good game we played a good game against the Packers.
Lost that game, by the way.
Absolutely lost the game, but we played a good game against them. 24 points. That's not a fucking bad time against Aaron Rodgers. Listen, again, your money, you do what you want, bro.
With Kyler Murray, the amount of games that they've covered by 10 points is not a lot. And obviously it's small sample size. That's not really that big of a factor, but there's a lot of injuries on offense. I think Carolina might catch the Cardinals a little off guard here. And I think Colt McCoy might not have another great game. If he doesn't play another great game, if he plays a mediocre game, or if he plays a less than mediocre game, the Cardinals are going to be in this till the end. I mean, I could be, or not the Cardinals, the Panthers, and I could be very wrong. And, I won't be that mad if I'm wrong, but this 10.5 is just too much. 10.5 is just, the bottom line is 10.5 is too fucking much for a backup, to bet on a backup quarterback to cover.
So do it. Announce it. Announce it. Say you're going to do it, Noah.
I already, how the fuck have I not already said I'm taking Carolina to cover?
All right. That's all I need to hear.
That's literally been what I've been getting at this entire time.
I understand what you've been getting at, but you haven't fucking said it. So I don't know if you're still going Cardinals minus 10.5.
No, because 10.5 is way too much for a backup quarterback with a banged up offense to cover.
All right.
No, yes. I do think the Cardinals will win, but they're not going to. I don't think they're going to cover 10. 10.5 is a juicy fucking line. If it was
very juicy line.
Now, if it was 8.5,
I think this is the biggest trap. I think this is a bigger trap game than before. The Titans game. I think it's a bigger trap.
Yeah, probably.
And the Lions game.
What? No, the Titans and the Saints are a trap. Well, the Lions.
My bad.
Lions are a trap game too.
Yeah, 8.5, bro. They're hanging
there,
bro. They're just hanging.
I'm smart enough to see Vegas's trap games, and I'm taking them.
All right. Well, let's see if you're smart enough, because I know I'm not smart enough to really pick this game responsibly. Let's go Eagles at the Broncos. They're at the Mile High.
This is one of the easiest games of the week.
You think so?
Easiest games
I've
of the
had
week.
a fucking rough time handicapping this one, dude. Got Eagles as a 2.5 3-point dog at some books. Over under 45.
It's AJ, this is stupid and I hate it because I hate both teams and they're not good teams. Both outperforming expectations, but
Yes.
how the fuck do you not take Eagles money line on this?
I got to agree with you. How do you not? It's right there. It's in front of you. It's there. It's at plus 120, plus 130 at some books. I mean,
I hate it so much that I love it. I hate it so much that I love it.
Right. It's my, like the pick that I hate the most.
Broncos are so high on themselves coming off of this major blowout against the Cowboys. And the Eagles lose a tough last second loss against the Chargers. The Eagles are the hungrier dog here by far. And that's why they're going to win, because the Broncos are too busy celebrating and happy about like, oh, the Cowboys. And the Eagles are pissed about the fact that they almost beat the Chargers but didn't quite get there. Eagles are the hungrier dog here.
Yeah. And let's be real, this game should be a pick'em. But because of their performances last week, this is where it's at.
1.5, 2 point spreads are close enough to pick'ems anyways, that it's like whatever. I never bet on anything under 3 on the month to cover as an underdog, because at that point you might as well take a money line.
No, honestly.
Because
next game,
2.5 is interesting, but 1.5, I mean, how do you get 1 point game? Anyways, who cares? Fucking take Philly. Fly. Fucking them, but it's okay. But
all right, I'm interested to hear your takes on this next one, Noah. You got Seahawks visiting the Packers. Packers 3.5 point favorite going into this game, total at 50 points, 49.5 at some books. Russell Wilson's back. Aaron Rodgers questionable return. Devontae Adams is back. Or who else is back off the COVID list? Or is
everybody's back?
Rodgers?
Everyone was back last week. Yeah.
You're right. My bad. So Rodgers is the only questionable, and we won't know until Saturday. We saw how shitty Jordan Love performed last week. Not confident with him.
He did not perform that shitty. Which
you have to say that as a Packers owner. You have to say that as a Packers owner.
No. And I need to dive into this because we didn't have a degenerate takes.
We didn't have time.
Well, did we cover it? We did cover it.
Yeah, we did cover it.
We did.
Yeah, that was Sunday night.
It was all fucking special teams. Jordan Love actually played. He outplayed Mahomes. So I mean, like, if you can't. I mean, both of them were really. Actually, I should say Mahomes underplayed Jordan Love.
Yes,
is what happened.
That's a better way to say.
Neither of them looked great, but Mahomes looked worse, and nobody's fucking talking about it because the Chiefs won. It doesn't even matter. The Chiefs are done. They fucking suck. They're trash. They're not making the playoffs. I don't even care.
Oh, we'll get into that in a second, dude. But let's get to this one first. What are you thinking? Because dude, Rodgers is gonna play. He's chilling. He's gonna play. I'm taking Packers 3.5.
Oh yeah, I mean he's just doing Rodgers things. He loves the fucking drama. That's why he said there's a chance.
Okay,
that he's not
timeout. This is not Rodgers things. This is him having to be sent home from the NFL, even though they knew exactly what was going on.
No,
it's him getting fined because the NFL is fucking incompetent.
No, this is exactly a Rodgers thing. The reason he went on the Pat McAfee show.
To
hear me out.
Defend himself.
No. Hear me out. The reason I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about.
Oh, the second time.
Yes, and the reason he said
there's Rodgers Tuesday.
Oh my God, hear me the fuck out, dude.
Okay.
The reason he said that there's a chance that he won't play is because it's Aaron Rodgers and he loves the fucking drama and he loves to get people to talk, and then he just fucking goes radio silence and doesn't say anything, and he's a total bitch, and I love him and hate him at the same time. I have very conflicting feelings on him. He's a piece of shit, but I also love him. This is just an Aaron Rodgers move. He's playing. The only reason he said, "Oh, well, there's a chance I won't," is because he just wants people talking about him. He wants to be. His head is so far up his ass. His ego is so big that he needs to be in the limelight 24/7. Dude's playing the game. Why do you think the Packers are still the favorite? If there was any doubt, I mean, the line dropped like 2.5 points when he said that. which is perfect because, God, take the Packers. He's going to come out there. Doesn't matter. The way the Packers defense is playing, Matt LaFleur said it best. They look like a fucking Super Bowl defense against the Chiefs.
They did. It was really good.
Well, I mean, you take away the special teams errors. They only give up, 6 points against the Chiefs in that entire game, who are supposed to be a very high-powered offense. Russell Wilson's coming back, first game back from an injury, might be a little rusty, might not be, who knows, doesn't really matter. I think the Packers hold the Seahawks to low points. If Rodgers is playing, they're going to blow them out. Doesn't even matter. They're playing at Lambeau.
Yeah, they're going to win no matter what.
Give me the Packers to cover. They covered last week. Last week despite all the circumstances.
True.
Since week one, take away week one.
Yeah.
Packers are 7-1 and 8-0 against the spread. So why am I going to stop taking them against the spread? I'm not. They're going to cover the spread.
Honestly.
Give me the Packers.
And then that leads us into our Sunday night game. This game, Noah, looking at it, I already know the books are going to have a good weekend. You got the Chiefs visiting the Raiders. Chiefs are a 2.5-point favorite going into this game. Total is at 52.5. No.
So you say the books are going to have a good weekend because people are dumb.
Yes.
And don't realize there is a very, very fucking obvious bet here.
This is Noah. No, I promise you. Come Sunday, 65% of the money and or more will be on the Chiefs to cover the spread. I'm going to look it up right now because it's got.
Oh my God, AJ, this is. I was telling you about this one. I don't know if I'm just dumb or if I'm like blindly ignorant or maybe I'm just a fucking genius. But holy shit,
dude, what are we even doing here? Like, what are we even talking about?
Give me the Sith in the Death Star. I mean, why? They're coming off of a bad loss. Give me Derek Carr for like 1.5 million yards against this Chiefs defense.
Okay, so interesting turn of developments here. The money. Nope, I'm sorry. That's just the tickets. Let me see where the money's at. Because the way I was looking, one site I was using said that it was on the Raiders, but that doesn't make any sense.
Even if it is, I don't even fucking care.
Even if it doesn't care, I don't understand why Vegas is then hanging them at 2.5 plus 2.5, and why that line they've moved if the money's on them at 2.5.
I mean, they've lost 2.5.
Like, I
not
get
2.5.
that.
They've lost 2 games
Chiefs
in a row.
Team
is
so fucking bad. Like, they are terrible, dude.
Yeah, well, I know we were together watching that Packers Chiefs game, and I was telling you, if the Packers special teams didn't make those mistakes, you'd take away the missed field goal, the blocked field goal, and the muffed punt. Chiefs don't get a single touchdown. Packers hold the Chiefs to 6 points. And the Packers, even if you include that missed field goal and the blocked field goal, Packers win the game 7-6. You take those away and count those both as made field goals.
Yeah.
Even despite the poor play calling by LaFleur and Jordan Love's play, Packers are winning that game 13-6 or 7-6, depending on what you want to take away. But that one fucking stupid call with the ball barely nicking Malik Taylor's shoe, giving the Chiefs a touchdown. I mean, this Chiefs offense can't fucking score points, and their defense fucking sucks. The Packers were just incompetent on offense for most of the game.
Yeah. So,
dude,
Raiders
Derek Carr. Yes, obviously I'm like so big. This is my lock of the week. I think maybe is Raiders money line, because despite all the drama and distractions going on with the Raiders, I mean,
they're humming, dude.
We were watching that game. That Chiefs run defense
so bad.
Couldn't stop a high school running back.
No.
They're
bad.
I mean, dude. they weren't even getting first contact till 5-6 yards down the field, and even then they're missing tackles. So it's like, I think Josh Jacobs will have a huge game. I think Kenyon Drake will have a huge game. I think Derek Carr will have a huge game. I think Darren Waller, sorry,
he will not have a huge game. I promise you that, bro.
Hunter Renfro.
Renfro,
Not
he's gonna have a
Henry.
big game probably.
I was about to say
Henry Renfro, sure,
but
sure.
no, Hunter Renfro. Caught myself there. Yeah, no. Third and Renfro, Darren Waller, Derek Carr. I mean, I don't love the Raiders defense.
Yeah.
So I'll probably take the over in this one too, but Raiders are going to win this game. Easy. At home. I mean, Easy. This might be my favorite bet of the week. I'm between that and whatever the fuck I said earlier. I don't even remember.
Me either at this point, but Noah, that's because we only have one more game left, and we're through this entire NFL slate. And this is
this also might be my favorite bet of the
lock
week.
of the fucking week. We got Rams visiting the 49ers. Rams -4, under 49. What? Who the fuck cares? Rams -4, dude. San Francisco hasn't won a game at home since fucking Nam, bro. Like, and the Rams are fine. The Rams just came off a bad loss. 49ers just suck. Give me the Rams -4.
Same exact story as Buffalo. Rams just got embarrassed. They just got embarrassed. And God, they are going to make the 49ers their fucking punching bag.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be bad.
Dude, Stafford's going for like 404 touchdowns in this game. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, both going to be huge. Yeah, there's just that defense probably going to shut the Niners down too. There's no way the Niners compete in this fucking game.
No way, dude. No way.
Why is the spread 4? Why?
Because of the loss, honestly. Because of the loss, and so Vegas hung it at a number that they thought they could get half of the bets on the 49ers, and 4 seemed to be that number.
If you haven't picked up on it, I love betting on good teams after bad losses.
Yes, you do.
They bounce back. I mean, the lines are all fucked. It's because the lines are all fucked.
Lines are all fucked after last week. I couldn't agree more.
Good team has a bad loss. The line is like 3 or 4 points less than it should be. You just slam it. I mean,
swoop in and take it, bro. Swoop in and take it, and that's
what I've been preaching. Here. What I've been preaching all season.
Yes, sir.
It's one fucking game. Calm down. That's what I said after the Packers lost. I've said that not even for the Packers, but for multiple other teams. I'm like, calm down. It's one fucking game.
Yeah, absolutely. So Noah, after we close the book on this one, you got anything before we close the book on this one? You got anything else to say about this crazy NFL week?
Should I read off my parlay that I feel very, very good about?
Noah has been talking about this parlay literally since he got off the plane and he's like, dude, before I got
might be
this crazy parlay. And I was like, dude, what is it? And he's like, you gotta wait for bets.
Oh, it's not crazy because it might be my favorite parlay that I've ever posted.
Rattle it off. Let me hear
it. And that's probably a really, really bad sign because it's probably like half of it's gonna lose. But I got the Chargers -2.5, Raiders money line, Rams -4, Bucks -9.5, Ravens -7.5, and the Falcons to cover 8.5.
Ooh.
And that was, at the time I put it in, that's at what is that? Plus 55.90. So
shit. It's a nice little parlay there, bro.
Parlays, they rarely hit.
I like it.
I don't endorse putting in.
Do not endorse parlays. I endorse round robins before I endorse parlays.
They suck. If you're gonna
parlay round robin.
Well, if you're gonna put in a parlay, just be responsible about it. Put in like quarter unit or something like that on a parlay. Like
definitely
no more than a half unit on a parlay because they're hardly ever hit.
Hardly ever. They are a lot of fun, though. We do love them, but yeah, be responsible about them, or else you're going to lose your entire fucking bankroll so fast. Anyway, it's been a good week. I'm excited for this week. College, college everything this weekend. Saturday is going to be fucking nuts with basketball and football. If you're not following us already on TikTok,
Go Blurs.
What?
I said go Blurs.
Who the fuck are the Blurs?
Ramblers, buddy.
Oh, the Ramblers. Oh, the Blur. Oh, I didn't know that was the shorthand from. That's Loyola Chicago. For those of you who don't know, we're big fans of them here. They just
basically a Loyola podcast.
We're a betting podcast. We're a Loyola podcast disguised as a betting and Degenerate Takes podcast. I love it, dude. But anyway, if you aren't already following us on TikTok, follow us on TikTok at Degenerate Takes 69. That's where we post a lot of our daily picks and everything like that. I put out multiple shirts a week. Noah's about to go ham on college basketball. This kid, no joke, is 63% on his picks these last 2 years.
A little over 67.
Sorry, excuse me, a little over 67. I sold him short there. That's my bad. I probably should have said 69, but we'll get to 69 eventually, and we'll probably just hover there for a little bit. But I followed him last year. I rode him, and I wrote his picks last year, and let me tell you, it was a good time. We won a lot of bets.
Yeah, thank you for the clarification.
Just making sure. You never know.
Yeah,
anyway.
off to my 14-6 start to the season through 2 days. So
great
follow
start.
That shit.
So yeah, follow us on Degenerate Take 69
I'll give you my best picks of the day.
And then if you're not already, please like, share, subscribe, follow, do whatever you need to, however you're listening, however you're watching, Spotify, YouTube. We do really appreciate you. But help us do that for the algorithms and everything. And so we can put out
throw your laptop at the wall if you want to.
Dude, yeah, laptops at walls. Do that if you want to. And remember,
tag us in it. Throw your laptop in the wall and tag us in it.
We won't give you another laptop, but tag us in it and we'll have a good laugh. We'd appreciate it, honestly.
Yeah, we'll do that on TikTok.
Absolutely. Besides that, catch us next week with more Degenerate Bets and Degenerate Takes.